Dr. Drone back with a follow-up video on the Hkpilot Micro Master Set that I bought a few weeks ago. Just wanted to run through a few things because it's got a few little gotchas when you go to hook it up that you might have to figure out here. So first of all, let's get started with something I noticed a lot of people were crying and whining about was how they hook it up to their receiver and the motors. Well, the motors are clearly labeled, so that's really not that hard, and it comes with connectors to plug into it. So let me just show everybody here. There's some of the motor connectors right there. That's my little buzzer that I added on there. I will show you guys how to do that too. That was just crying that I upset the GPS on the unit, so it'll go away here in a minute. So basically, I prefer to hook mine up sbus style, and I'll show you what I got here on my HK Mini that I bought a year ago or so. What you're going to do is you're going to jump in 2 and 3 together, like I've done here. I soldered them together, cut them shorter, and now your input 1 is now your signal for your sbus connection, which I run into a FreeSky sbus to CPPM encoder, which would be this thing here. And very handy little unit. It'll basically allow you to connect, a single connection into your APM controller. And this works on the standard APM 2.5, the HK Mini, the HK Micro, and every single Chinese clone that I know of. So that's the easiest way to hook it up. And here's the little wiring diagram here that came with my HK Micro. And I just kind of highlighted what you're going to do here. Jump 2 and 3, and then use your 1. And the 5-volt and ground will actually power your receiver. And that's exactly how I have this set up running. I've already flown it. It works great. Next, if you happen to notice, I got a couple blinking lights here. And you've been hearing a annoying little tone come from my buzzer when I start blocking my GPS signal. It doesn't want to do it now. Okay, there it goes. That's basically the buzzer I added on. I went down to Radio Shack, got a cheap little buzzer. I believe it goes from like 3 to 24 volt range. Very small little unit. Flip it over and show it to you here. That little guy. It's about the size of a quarter, guys. Only weighs I think 2.5 grams, I think, maybe not even that. And then I got let's see, this is my arming LED, which is blinking because I'm not armed. And this is actually an LED I bought that just blinks all the time, or you can buy one that just stays solid on, and this one's actually representing my GPS connection, telling me that I have one, which you can also confirm by the blinking blue light on the GPS unit. But this basically is, you can point these down towards the ground so you can actually see your lights while you're flying in the air. Pretty handy little way to add it on there if you don't want to have the motor spin function on, so you can actually tell it when it's armed, when it's not. I'll go ahead and display the arming procedure here. Right now the blue light's blinking. Go ahead and arm my copter. And now the blue light is staying on solid. Back to disarm, and it goes back to blinking. And you can also hear the tones that came from the buzzer associated with the arming process too. So yeah, you could go ahead and disarm the motor spin function, so that way the motors won't spin when you actually arm it. And then, some people don't like it, some people do. I just wanted the LED lighting, that way I could actually probably end up facing one to the front, one towards the back, so I can actually have orientation for night flying, being that the APM just has the lights available anyhow. So go ahead and show you the wiring diagram again for the APM Micro. So if you're not familiar, the buzzer, regardless of if you're on APM 2.5, any of the Chinese clones, anything like that, your buzzer hooks up to your auxiliary 5, GPS to auxiliary 6, and the arm to the auxiliary 7. And this is exactly how I have it hooked up here with my HK Micro. This also works on the APM 3.1 APM Mini as they're known on the eBay circuit. Same stuff. So another issue some of you guys might run into if you get one of these and you actually bought a external GPS, particularly if you got the unit I got from HK, which has the it's got a single connection cable for your compass and your GPS. What I ran into is you basically have both the compasses hooked up right out of the box. So what you're going to have to do is go in and cut 2 of the wires, and I believe I cut SCL and SDA, and then that basically just left me the GPS attached, so I was running the compass on the board, which actually seems to work pretty good. I've heard a lot of the Chinese APM 3.5 boards that have the onboard compass, everybody says they're crap and they need to run the external compass. I'm actually running the internal compass on this HK board, and it seems to work pretty good. I can't complain. I haven't got around to snipping the little jumper yet and trying the external compass. It was so small it kind of intimidated me. That's why I went ahead and ran the internal one for now. But yeah, like I say, let's see. I believe I cut, if you're looking at the... Okay, so if you're looking at the compass module itself with the GPS, these are the 2 wires I cut on the very right, and that basically eliminated the compass inside the GPS module, allowing it to run just the onboard compass. Sorry, I blocked my signal again and upset it. So, trying to think of anything else I need to go over with this thing real quick. Like I said, I'm very happy with it. I've ran, let's see, return to home, loiter, all that kind of stuff. The actual GPS unit isn't real bad for a Mini. It's actually very stable, a lot stabler than some of the full-size units. The only issue is I did have to run it about, 3 inches off the deck of my craft before I was, getting no interference. Anything lower than this, I'd run into the occasional glitch. You would hear the 5 tones like you're hearing when I cover the GPS unit. And this is when I was flying wide out in the open. That's just simply because I must have been receiving magnetic interference coming off the motors or something into the GPS. But yeah, if you keep it just slightly above the motors, which is pretty, pretty standard for most craft, you actually get a pretty solid signal with this unit. I haven't tested quite all the features, haven't got around to, follow me or anything like that, but, works pretty good. Let's see, the micro radio telemetry. Let's see, I bet a lot of people are really skeptical of this thing. You can see the little antenna in there. Yeah, pretty dinky little thing. It's actually got a couple little pads down here, and I'm wondering if that's so you can mount, maybe connect it up to a better antenna, but I'm a little apprehensive of messing with that right now. I can report though, I'm using my receiver on my computer inside my home through a brick wall, and I'm going out flying through the trees and stuff about 100 yards out before I'm dropping the signal real bad. It's actually a pretty good little telemetry unit. For the size, I highly recommend it for just about anybody, even if you're not really a guy who uses a radio telemetry a lot, but just for the simple function of connecting to your computer without having to plug in the USB cable all the time, this little unit is very handy, and I believe it's like 2 grams, so it's really nothing. It's real minuscule to have on your craft, and this will connect to a Pixhawk or a regular APM or anything else. So I'd look into it, guys. I really like the thing. I'm really happy with all the products that came with my Hobby King Micro Pilot Master set. One thing is I can't really show you is this little power distribution board. I mean, it is so small. It's got the built-in power module. You can kind of see the plug-in, but man, this thing is little. It goes right underneath the The pilot, you can see, I got it tucked in real tight together. And yeah, it works great. You know, it's got a limited, you know, output. I think it's only rated up to 40 or 60 amp continuous. I'm not sure what that was, but yeah, it works pretty good. So yeah, can't say enough. I didn't get around to testing the OSD unit, but you know, it's an OSD unit. I figure, you know, y'all know what they do. They all pretty much do the same stuff, so I figured I could skip that. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like my review. You know, if you're skeptical about ordering, you know, one of these Hobby King units, I know Hobby King's got a bad rap. You know, I'd actually bought the Mini, and my damn USB connector had popped off within a couple days. I didn't even get it on the craft, and I had, you know, lost the ability to connect it to the computer, so I'm actually stuck with older firmware. It's been a big issue. In fact, if you actually know how to connect one of these to the computer with the FTDI adapter or anything like that, please send me a link, because I've been stuck on this thing for a while. But you know, the quality of this HK Micro is it's a lot better. I haven't had any problems with any of the components. They all seem to be built very, very well. So I highly recommend it to anybody who's got a mini craft. If you're looking to expand your features, you know, expand a number of flight modes. I know if you're flying on a CC3D, you've only got, what, 2 or 3 flight modes you're using. You can have up to 14 modes on this craft. There might even be more than that. I'm just kind of going what I've seen off the site, I guess. But yeah, you get all the functionality of return to home, guided flight, follow me, point and click basically flight if you've got the you know, a tablet or something. So you know, it's a unit that's capable of making your mini craft do everything. This is actually just a 230mm quad, so it gives you an idea of how small, you know, you can get fully autonomous vehicles nowadays. So thanks for watching, guys, and give me a thumbs up if you like it.